We've got a very special episode today. So for the first time in a long time, I've got a guest with me on the podcast. Before I do introduce her, I'll just give you a reminder. I am Vicky. I am the manager of Fresh Perspective. We are a recruitment business with a twist based in Chorley in Lancashire. So today, my guest on the podcast, who I will be interviewing, is Laura Leyland.
Hey.
Hello, Laura. Welcome to the podcast studio.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be back.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good?
It's coming up to Easter, the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and I'm always in a happy mood when that happens.
And we've got lots of chocolate in the office as well.
Yeah, there's so much chocolate in the office. It's amazing. It's like my favourite time of year.
Oh, I love it. I know. I can't believe how many eggs I've got. It's too much, but...
I like Danielle, who also works for me, have the most eggs I've ever had since I can remember being a child.
I think me too. I normally don't get any. I normally get one off my mum. But I've got about 5 sitting on my desk right now, so...
I got a box of chocolates off my mum.
Oh, cute.
And Pete, my fiancé, she got him a box of chocolate biscuits.
Does he not like chocolate?
No, he's a biscuit man.
Right, okay. Nice. Well done, Carol.
Thanks, Mum.
But Laura, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about you, what you do.
Who I am and where do I come from?
Yeah.
Laura Leyland from Chorley in Lancashire, co-founder and managing director of Fresh Perspective Resourcing, a unique recruitment business. We are the unicorns of the recruitment world. 41 years old. Don't often say that.
I was going to say, that feels weird coming out of your mouth. You don't normally say
I
that.
don't think I've ever said that. Well, since January.
You look like you're 21 though.
Thanks, babes. Thanks. Thank God for Botox. Botox, peels, microneedling, and skin boosters.
You've had it all this week.
Yeah.
Ready for a podcast?
Yeah, and my hairdo.
Oh, yes, of course. Which is...
Got to get that glow.
today.
Oh my God, yeah. This weekend is my hairdo. Woo!
Yes. So, I'm going to be interviewing you today, Laura.
No, I feel really chilly because I've not asked to prep or anything. I'm just going to answer some questions.
I know, yeah, I feel nervous today because I'm the one interviewing. So, yeah, I'm just going to ask you some questions.
You crack on, babe.
Yeah, so, first question. What was the spark that made you start the business? What's your why?
Oh, getting straight in there.
I know, yeah, we're starting with a hard hitter.
Hard-hitting question. Wow. Vicky's after a journalism prize. So I've been in recruitment for nearly 10 years before we decided to set up Fresh. And when I say we, I mean me and Emily, who's my sister, and also a business partner. She co-founded Fresh with me. We both worked in recruitment for a long time, moved around a lot because we'd worked with some agencies that asked us to just lie and cheat to get information and basically make money. So we were very much asked to leave our morals at the door, and thought, I personally thought maybe this is not for me. Nearly went to be a project manager, did the qualification in London and everything. And then one of my clients was like, you should come and work for us. Don't go and be a project manager. Come and be our in-house head of recruitment. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. So then I went and did that. Somehow managed to persuade my boss to let me hire Emily. So she came over. Must have caught him on a low moment. Vulnerable moment.
I love how you had to persuade him.
And then so we knew we could work together, and we knew we were both really good at recruitment. And then we'd gone as far as we could go there, and we were thinking, like, what do we do now? Do we just stay, manage it, but we're quite ambitious? Or I was like, do we go and do it somewhere else? And at the time, I was going through a divorce, and the year that we were married was really toxic, quite emotionally and verbally abusive. Never physical, but it was really controlling relationship, knocked out all my confidence. And after we'd broke up and we were going through a divorce, he'd left like loads of debt in my name, and I was trying to deal with that. My credit score was through the floor. And I found out that he was setting up his own business, fully funded by one of his clients, and I just got really mad.
It wasn't recruitment, was it?
No,
something
it was
completely different.
So I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want people to go and hunt him down. Don't go and hunt him down.
And we're not advertising that.
Not advertising that. No, I'm not condoning that in any way. And it just made me really angry. And I was like, right, okay, we'll sod this. I'm going to set up a business. I'm like, right, Emily, come on, we're doing this. We're setting up a business. She's like, right, okay, yeah, let's do it. What we're going to do? I'm like, well, obviously recruitment.
What do we know?
Yeah, and that's how Fresh was born. We wanted to offer something different in our sector. And that was it, yes. The catalyst or spark of setting up Fresh was actually the breakdown of my marriage.
Did you always know you wanted to start up a business? Like, was that always, like, on your radar? Or was it like one of them things where you're having a bit of a mental breakdown and you're like, I'm just going to do this crazy thing?
Probably both.
Okay.
I think it had been on my mind. Like, I always knew I wanted to be in business. So I remember when it used to be, when was it Heroes? The bar across from our office in Chorley. It used to be called Heroes. Do you remember before your time?
I don't remember that.
And before it was Heroes, I can't remember what it was. It was something else. And when I was 15, we'd be walking around on like school holidays. And we'd sit outside. We'd just see people walking around Chorley, dressed in suits. I mean, you probably don't see it as much anymore.
No.
Or we'd go to Manchester, on the train, and we'd be like going shopping, buying makeup, and people would be walking around with like suitcases and bags and briefcases, sorry, not suitcases, in suits. And I'm like, I want to be one of these people. I want to be a suit-wearing bitch. And so I always knew that I wanted to be in business. And then I've watched Dragon's Den. I watched The Apprentice. I actually applied to Dragon's Den years and years ago with my dog business idea. It was going to be called Centre Barks, and it's going to be like this fancy, luxurious like dog boarding place.
Oh my! So like Centre Parks, but for dogs.
For dogs.
Oh my god, I love. Bit different to recruitment.
And they actually rang me up to go on the show, but the business had to be up and running in some way, shape or form. And
was it just an idea that you had?
An idea.
Right.
I was working in recruitment at the time, and it was just an idea that I had. And I was going to go into business with my osteopath, a bit like a chiropractor. But then...
I've never heard these stories before. This is so random.
We had a meeting in a pub and everything to try and put together a business plan. But then some people told me not to go into business with him because he was a bit of a naughty man, and he'd actually pretended to be a vet in the past and operated on animals without having a veterinary license.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, bye. I don't think I'm going to come to my next appointment either.
Did you never see him again after that? But that's why it's good that you went into business with Emily, because you trust her. Yeah, the trust is
just
there.
The communication, the trust, the honesty, the openness. Like, you're not open with anybody else like you are your sister. I mean, probably a bit too open sometimes, but it's absolutely a benefit. But yeah, I think it was always in my mind that I wanted to have my own business. And then that was probably the push that I needed to take the leap.
Oh, I love that. So... what gap in the market were you trying to fill when you created Fresh?
Oh, well, a lot of people listening probably know that the recruitment industry leaves a lot to be desired. It doesn't have the best reputation because a lot of people get into it to make money. So they're salespeople. They want to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. But recruitment, you're delivering a service. Your product, your candidates, which are people, and your clients are people in businesses. But it's typically not been done well. And so that's what we wanted to achieve. So the gap in the market was to deliver a positive recruitment solution that turned all the negatives with our sector into positives and capitalise on that to revolutionise the sector and change people's perceptions on it. Because unless you're a one-person band, you need people in your business either to make your products or to deliver your service and everything else that goes with that. So recruitment is a vital part, whether you're doing it yourself or you're engaging with a partner such as Fresh. It's a vital part of growing your business and your team, it should be exciting. But people don't look at it like that. They think it's this negative thing that they just have to do, and they have to deal with recruiters because they don't know any other options, and they're hating life while they're doing it.
Yeah, I think like 99% of prospects that I speak to have some horror story of working with recruiters, which is a shame. Like, there's loads of good ones out there, isn't there? But there's a lot of not good ones.
Yeah, some of the things like the fees, the extortionate fees, like 25% on salary, so like upwards of 10 grand for some positions for one person.
Yeah.
Or then, like, I spoke to a guy recently. He said, I swear that the agencies that I work with, because they're specialists in my sector, which I also don't agree with, that they wait until the 6 months is up after they've placed someone, and then they go and ask them if they want another job, and stealing from their own clients. There's just a lack of loyalty, lack of transparency, lack of customer service, all for the princely sum of thousands of pounds.
I do think some of the problem comes from the way that recruitment has been set up, where you traditionally pay for a service after it's been provided, which you wouldn't in any other, well, not many other sectors, would you?
No, because not really. I mean, in a restaurant, you pay after you've had your meal, unless you're going to Nando's.
But you wouldn't have the meal and just walk out.
No, absolutely not. Well, yeah, I think maybe, I don't know of any other sectors where maybe a estate agency, because even with construction, for example, you pay them at the end, but they've built you a house.
Yeah.
So, and if you then go, oh, I actually don't want this house anymore, well, they don't just knock it down and then don't charge you any money. Whereas with recruitment, like, oh, I need this person, so you might spend 4 weeks finding them. They're on a 4-week notice period. So in typical agency world, they don't get paid until that 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But if that candidate changes their mind, or the client changes their mind, then they think it's okay to not pay you, which I just don't think that's nice.
It's not right, is it?
It's not fair.
No, it isn't fair.
When you speak to them like, oh, I don't want to come with you and your model because I've got to pay half of it up front. Whereas with an agency, if I change my mind, I don't have to pay them. I'm like, listen to yourself. Listen to what you've just said. You've asked someone to do work for you. And you're like, actually, do you know what? I don't want to pay for it, so I'm going to change my mind. I'm like, that's terrible. I'm like, I actually don't think I want you to be my client.
No.
That's the kind of person you are.
It's just not the right attitude towards it, is it? Like,
No.
You wouldn't get someone to do some bits of HR, like a disciplinary for you, and then be like, actually, we're not getting rid of this person, so we're not going to pay you for all the work you've done to prep for it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Even if you were doing a court case, and you go into a court and you'd ask a solicitor to help you prepare it. If you decide, you know what, I'm going to settle because I don't want to go to court, you still have to pay the solicitor for the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think that behaviour drives not all, but some of it drives the bad behaviour in the agency sector, because the model is the model. Then the way that people treat recruiters then still inspires bad behaviour, because they pit us against each other.
Yeah.
And then they complain when we send the same candidates. I'm like, well, what do you expect? And quality will go out the window if people are in a race to get candidates. They're just going to want to get people over to you as quickly as possible, and then it's just not very economical in the end.
No, it's just a vicious circle, isn't it? That we have tried to break.
We have. We fill all those negatives with positive energy.
Yeah.
We're a recruitment partner. We collaborate. We listen. Candidates are thoroughly screened and vetted for the jobs in terms of culture, values, and skills and experience. We help educate. We guide. We create processes and strategy. We can help you improve your direct hiring if you don't want us to do it for you. We offer HR now. We help with retention. It's all about quality and about a customer service. We basically just remove all the pain of recruitment.
Yeah, I think that is what we try and do, isn't it? Like, provide a good service rather than just some candidates.
Some candidates. These are actual human people that could join your business and make it even better.
Yeah.
Like, you could learn from them. Like, how exciting could that be? Yeah. And we're usually cost effective as well. We're not cheaper, because that would make people think we're not as good. But Emily said it in a promo video we did a few months ago. She said, basically, we're better and less expensive.
Yeah, because cheaper isn't always the better option, because you get what you pay for, don't you?
Yeah.
So
we just apply some common sense to our pricing.
Yeah, it's not extortionate and ridiculous fees.
It just makes sense, and it's fair, it's transparent, and it's just.
Yeah, love that.
Yay.
Right, Laura, what's the worst bit of business advice that you've ever received?
Oh,
I imagine there's quite a bit.
There is a lot. It usually comes across in a patronising and condescending way of mostly guys, I'm going to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I think they look at us, because we're engaging and we're positive and fun, I think some people see us as pink, fluffy pushovers.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Which we're not.
No, don't push us over.
No.
Because we will get back up and bop you on the nose.
Yep.
But actually, one of the things that comes to mind is actually not off a man. It was off a lady. And me and Emily, despite me always wanting to wear a suit, I did for a very long time. But when we set up fresh, we're like, we're not about this. We just want to be comfortable. We want to be chilled. So our usual armour is gym leggings, because we're always going to the gym or a run somewhere, and a t-shirt, a branded t-shirt and a branded jumper, and then off we go, usually in Converse or trainers. And then we fancy it up to go to networking, and we put on jeans.
That is fancy, isn't
God.
it? Yeah. If we come in the office in jeans, you know we mean business.
So most networking, I'll attend in my Converse, jeans, and usually a fresh t-shirt. And this lady said she had a one-to-one with us once, and she was like, right, I've got to give you some advice. We're like, right, okay, go on then. We're not asked for it, but okay. She went, you need to dress smarter when you go to networking. I'm like, wow, okay. Carry on. I'm all ears. She said, because you need to dress for the kind of clients you want to attract.
You are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to attract people who are too serious. I mean, if people want to wear a suit, that's fine. I'm not saying they shouldn't or I don't want to work with them. But if they're bothered about what I'm wearing instead of who I am and what I can do, then I don't want to attract them. They're not my ideal client.
I think it's a bit old-fashioned, that as well. Like the whole suit situation. I don't think many companies, unless you're like a top solicitor or top lawyer or something like that. I do think people are a little bit more chilled when it comes to. I don't really, as long as you look nice, I wouldn't judge someone based off what
clean.
Yeah, as long as you look clean, you look put together. It doesn't look like you've just rolled out of bed.
Yeah, I'm not going in my dog walking trainers.
Yeah, like we wouldn't go networking in our gym stuff, would we?
No, I won't go in my leggings.
No,
that's a step too far.
Yeah, but
some people do, and
that's
okay.
I don't judge them for it.
No,
I'm just bothered about if you're a nice person and you listen to what we've got to say, and yeah,
I don't see why it matters, and we didn't take any notice of her.
No,
and that were a long time ago. So we're doing okay. But I remember when we first started networking around 2018, and then there was mostly solicitors actually, and like no judgment, like that's what they want. They're going to court a lot, so they need to be well presented. But I always felt on the back foot when I met someone who was really suited and booted in a one-to-one or for a client meeting or whatever it was. I would always feel on the back foot because I felt intimidated by what they wore. Now some might say, well, that should have told you that you should have upped your game, and that's your opinion. But it also made me think of, well, who else does feel like that when they sat with them? What if it is their clients or their potential clients, and then they don't work with them because they don't feel comfortable in their presence, and they might go and opt for another solicitor, for example, in this example, that was a bit more relaxed in their attire and therefore their approach. Yeah,
because what did they say? Like, people sell.
People buy from people.
People buy from people. So if you're making someone feel comfortable, like I feel like when people come to our office and we're just kind of chilled and it's a chilled environment, they feel comfortable and they feel like, oh, I like these people. They're nice people. Whereas if you're like sat across the desk from someone in a suit and I don't know, I would be intimidated as well by it.
Yeah, and you get the best from people when people feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't expect people to come for an interview at Fresh Perspective in a suit. I'd expect them to dress smart,
yeah.
But they don't need to wear a suit. I mean, some people have, and that's fine. There's no judgment, but as long as they look well presented, I don't think it matters what you wear.
No, because whether you come in a suit or you come in your gym leggings, you are the same person selling the same thing with the same personality. So why does it matter?
You just have to deal with other people's prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is weird. Although I did have a candidate that went to an interview on Teams in her pyjamas and dressing gown. I mean, that's a bit far.
I know, yeah. That is like the extreme, isn't it? So you still need to be smart.
Yeah, well, you won't go to work in your pyjamas, so you shouldn't interview for a job in your pyjamas.
No.
There you go. That's a top tip.
Top tip for a candidate.
For today's interview.
There we go. Right. What is a challenge that nearly knocked you sideways? And how did you get through that, Laura?
God, there's been a lot.
Tons in the 9 years.
Challenges. I mean, it was 5 years ago, but this COVID still feels like a big challenge. Because it was.
Hearing the words.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
But then since then, we had another challenge, whereas quite a few of our team left in quick succession. And that was really hard. Because you start to get paranoid.
Yeah.
And think, why? So COVID obviously nearly knocked us. It nearly flattened Fresh Perspective. We couldn't. Our recruitment board was like a blackout on Take Me Out with Paddy McGuinness, and we were terrified. And it knocked. It did knock us. There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of wine, and we're like
the answer to everything.
Always wine. Everything's always better with wine. And then we're like, I think I watched I think it was a video of a Zoom call of Simon Sinek and his team, or some people. It was a long time ago. I can't remember exactly. So Simon Sinek does the book. He wrote the books Start With Why, which I really like. And on that video, it's like, right, this has happened in the past. Not like this, but there have been other like challenges that many businesses have faced over the years. And it's those that pivot and adapt that make it through. Instead of going, well, I can't do this anymore, so I'm not going to do anything. They're the ones that will fail. And it's the ones that go, okay, well, I can't do this anymore, but what can I do? And that sentence just really resonated with me. I'm like, oh my God, I love this. And he used the word pivot, and it's now been overused since COVID. But pivot, do something different. So that's when we pushed everything into social media, and we've become quite prevalent on LinkedIn now, and that's where we get most of our business from. But then the other one, I know you've only asked me for one, but we had quite a few people leave us in 2021, like 50% of the team. And Emily was heavily pregnant with her first child. Yeah. So I was really worried about her. I was really anxious. So anxious I was physically sick some days, and I'm not an anxious person. And it was horrible, but we're like, right, well, what do? We either withdraw or we push on. So we had one day where we had 1 month, we had 6 new people start.
Yeah, I remember.
We moved offices that same month to a space 4 times the size and cost. And we're like, go big or go home. Go hard or go home, girl. So we're like, right, let's just crack on. We've been through other things, but let's just push on. And we're still in that office now. We've got a steady, stable team of 11, and we are the most successful than we've ever been before.
Oh, we are. What a lovely story.
And it's the challenges that make you. You look back, and at the time, it's the most awful thing that you're having to go through, and you think, this, I'm not going to get through it. This is terrible. Wish it wasn't happening. But when you've been through it and you look back, you're like, it made us better.
Oh, my God, yeah. Because I wasn't here for the COVID part. I joined, well, COVID was still going on, but it wasn't the whole...
You joined us January after, didn't you?
Yeah, the year after. So it was still all social distancing and stuff, but I think you got through the worst of it then. But I was here for the leaving situation.
Oh, yes, you were.
I was.
And you did not.
No. And at that time, I did think, how the hell are we going to get through this? And now we sit here and we do talk about it, don't we? And I'm like... Oh, easy.
I know.
Easy. Yeah. Look at us now.
I know. We're better.
Yeah.
Better, more robust, more positive. We're better for our customers. And we're more successful in all the ways that mean, including financially. But that's not the only thing that's important to us.
Yeah. And I think if something like that happened again, which it will not.
It will not.
It will absolutely not.
Touch some wood.
Yeah. There we go. If it did... I think we'd deal with it so much better.
It'd be okay.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we've done this before, we know what to do. And that's how you build resilience. It's going through the shit times and getting through them and learning from your mistakes and making changes and adapting. And then you're like, well, next time that happens, we've got it. We know what to do.
Yeah. Woo. Look at us. Resilient AF. Right, Laura, what is one hill you'll die on when it comes to running a business?
Oh my God, when you talk about hills that I might die on, I think of Heaton Park.
Heaton Park
when we did that awful half marathon. When was that, like 18 months ago?
I've tried to wipe it from my memory. It was the worst day.
Yeah,
ever.
Heaton Park in Manchester, we did a half marathon. We didn't check the route first, and it was 4 laps of a 5k route, and it had the most horrific hill in it. And we had, once you've been up it once, you're like, I've got to do this 3 more times.
It was never ending.
Oh, it was
like, you'd be
awful.
running up it, and I'm like, the end doesn't get any closer.
No. Like we're on the Travelator on Gladiator.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, that's what it was like. And it was raining, and it was cold. It was just the worst.
Yeah, we're awful. But I don't think that's what you meant.
No, not an actual hill.
Okay.
As in, like, one principle or belief.
I said, oh God. These questions are hard, man. I think one thing, why I'm always banging on about kindness, positivity, and integrity, like doing the right thing, and I suppose they're all linked, aren't they? Doing the right thing with kindness, positively.
Yes.
But I think we have Powered by Kindness as a slogan on many of our T-shirts. And I feel like it's really important to me to be kind to yourself, to each other, give back to the local community, help charities, just help other people, be supportive, and deal with every situation with kindness. If it's going to be, especially if they're negative, you have to deal with poor performance or anything like that. If you always come at it with kindness, it will always be the most positive outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I think you can get bogged down in work and what you're doing, like getting the sales in and everything like that, that you forget that everyone around us, whether it's our team, candidates, clients, like they're just people at the end of the day who
all trying to do the best.
All trying to do the best job, have stuff going on, probably outside of work, stuff going on in the business. And yeah, you should just always treat people with kindness, because you don't know what's going on, and we're all just people at the end of the day.
Yes, we are, and we all have feelings, and I suppose what comes from kindness is empathy as well. And like, you just don't know, even if you're, I don't know, like if you're chasing a client because they're late paying, instead of being like, oh, fuck's sake, they're late, they're being awful, they're treating me like I'm nothing, la la la, like, that could be the case. But try and think, oh, maybe they've just forgot. Maybe they're really busy. Maybe they've got a lot going on in their own life, and they've just not got their shit together as much as they normally would have. You actually don't know. And you're not going to ask them, and they're not going to tell you. But so you should just have an open mind, think, that could be the case, so just be nice. Yeah. So you're going, oh, you've not paid this invoice. If you don't pay this invoice, I'm going to do this. I'd be like, oh, please, can you let me know when this invoice will be paid, just to let you know it's, I don't know, 2 weeks overdue.
Yes.
So you can deal with any, and it's hard sometimes. If you're stressed, if you're up against it from, mental health perspective, stress levels, tiredness, whatever you've got going on, it is hard in the moment to always come at it with kindness, because, like you said, we are human.
Yeah.
But if you just try to do it most of the time, and I would say it's really important in business, and I think a lot of business people don't agree with me or don't even think about it like that. You
think a lot of people don't agree?
I think they're like, it's business.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what is business?
Cutthroat, yeah.
It's not, because they say it's not personal, it's just business. But I'm like, but business is about people.
Yeah.
Without people, there is no business. We're all business people. There's people in our businesses. It can't always not be personal, because you're dealing with humans.
And I don't think those people will be saying that if they were in a situation where they wanted someone to treat them with kindness because they had shit going on outside of work or in the business or whatever it was. So I think the people that are probably saying that don't have a lot to deal with right now.
Maybe, or they just think that business has to be brutal, and that's how they want to be successful. That's fine, but it will come at a cost in some way.
Yeah.
I believe anyway.
Yeah.
Just be nice.
Yeah. It's nice to be nice.
It is nice to be nice. You feel better, they feel better, everybody wins.
Winner. Right, this is my favourite question that I'm going to ask you. If Fresh was a cocktail, what would it be and why? And I feel like I know what you're going to say.
I would say it would be my favourite cocktail, which is a spicy margarita.
Yes.
Because it's zesty.
Yep.
It packs a punch. It's delicious.
Absolutely.
It's hard hitting.
It's very spicy.
It's very spicy and a little bit crazy.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I knew you were going to say that. It's also my favourite cocktail as well. And then, what's your go-to hype song in work? Well, outside of work, maybe when you're running. Or if you've got to do like a big proposal.
I do think it changes because for a long time it was Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves because it used to put me in a happy mood.
Yeah, it's a very happy song.
But more recently I've been listening to Celine Dion.
Great choice.
Drove All Night.
Oh
That's
my
a good
God,
one.
yeah. Celine has some bangers.
What else is it? And That's the Way It Is. And that's the way it is. Is that it?
I don't know. Is that by Celine?
Yeah. It is, or maybe it's called. It's something like that.
Okay, I love that rendition. Do you want to sing a bit more?
No. And then what else is there? Oh, yeah, but Celine's songs.
Bit of Florence as well.
Oh, yeah, say my name.
Yes.
Florence and the Machine and Spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Dog Days Are Over.
Oh my God,
a good
yeah.
one, yeah. Celine, Katrina and Florence.
Yeah, I love them. And all them are really good running songs as well.
Yeah, they are.
They're all on my playlist, ready for the marathon. So that's the end of the actual interview.
Oh, okay.
We've just got a little bit of a added extra at the end. Something new that we're starting on the podcast.
Something new?
Yeah, it's called Fresh or Stale.
Like a game?
It's a game,
Right,
yes.
okay.
So I'm going to give
We're not
you...
talking about bread.
No, we're not talking about bread. I'm going to give you some... I don't know what you call them.
Words?
Words, yeah. Scenario type things.
Okay.
And you need to tell me whether they are fresh or stale.
Okay.
Yeah?
Right, ready.
So, a 4-day working week.
Fresh.
I agree.
I'd love to have a 4-day working week. I just don't know how I could implement it right now.
I don't understand how they work. I understand how they work. You work 4 days.
I'm like, oh my God, am I really going to have to just explain this theory to you? Right, okay.
But like, logistically and with the principle of it. So are you working longer days to cover that extra day that you're not working? Are you working the same? Are you just working like 9 till 5:30 for 4 days? Do all the team have the same day off?
From the companies that I know that do it, yes, they all have the same day off. But I don't know about working hours. We would have to do some research.
Yeah, but I like the idea of it.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. What about AI generated content?
Oh. Stale.
I agree with you on that as well.
I think AI is a good tool to assist you with your content, but I don't think you should only use AI generated content.
No, because it's so obvious when people use it, and I'm like turned off instantly.
Oh, because you can tell, especially in England, because they leave all the Z's in because it's still American. Like specialise as a Z in it. Well, when people, I'll be on LinkedIn and people have done a big comment on my post, and I can tell they've just put my post into AI and gone, write me a comment.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh.
Is it not just quicker to just actually comment?
Oh, yeah, just put love this.
And I do like AI, but I do worry that people just stop using their brains for things.
I know. I love it. I find it a really useful tool, but I wouldn't only use it. I wouldn't generate content with it. I would just get it to help me with my content.
Yeah, with ideas and how to phrase stuff. Yeah. Company TikToks.
Fresh.
Yeah.
I think it really allows you to show the funnier, the culture of your business. It might not be super hard hitting in terms of lead generation. I mean, you never know, but it allows you to show that fun, softer side of the business.
Yeah. I like it, and I like seeing businesses with them.
Oh, me too.
Do you know when you've only just seen them on LinkedIn and it's a bit more profesh?
Yeah.
And then you see them doing some funny dances in the office.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, you're real people who do real things like us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think they shouldn't just be serious about what they do. I think they should. I think you can put a bit about what you do, make it relevant, but also have fun with it as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
What about people who don't put the cameras on Zoom or Teams, whichever is your preference?
Stale.
So stale. So stale.
I think if your camera's not working, fine. But why are we having a Teams call? Let's just have a phone call.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm having problems with my... If you can't be asked because you're not camera ready, because you forgot, just be like, I'm having problems with my Teams. Can we just do a call? If you're not... No intention of putting your video up. It's really weird when I've been on a call. And because then do you go... Oh, right, okay, well, I'll just turn my camera off. Then we'll just sat on Teams and we may as well have a phone call.
Yeah.
I could be walking around with my headphones in instead of sat in my office. Yeah. Blinded by my light.
I think it's quite rude when people do it.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, when you turn up and then you're just talking to them and you're like...
They could be doing anything.
I know!
Yeah.
We've had people show up to interviews and not have the camera on. Teams interviews.
Candidates?
Both sides.
Oh, it's weird. We'll just have a telephone interview.
Yeah. There's no point. The point of a Teams is to see the person.
Yeah.
So if it's off,
it's no
pointless.
It's pointless, so it's stale. Yeah.
So stale. Okay. And then Friday beers in the office.
Fresh.
So fresh. Even though we don't do it.
We have done.
Yeah.
We don't do it every week.
No.
Depends what we've got on.
Yeah. Because when people are leaving early on a Friday...
We sat there you might want to be sat there by yourself with a beer.
Yeah.
Well, we'd go to the pub.
Yeah, we would.
It's still Friday beers, but it's not in the office.
Yeah.
Okay.
But super fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Very fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. And that's our little game.
Oh,
which I think we're going to do regularly, aren't we?
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Oh, good. I'm glad. So that's your interview over. You can breathe now. Hope you don't feel like you've been interrogated.
No, I enjoyed that.
Did you? Oh, good. So it is the start of our new little series, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we're doing.
We're back in 2 weeks with another interview.
Yes.
We won't tell you who it is right now.
It's
probably because I can't remember.
It's a surprise for everybody.
Surprise for all.
Yes. So, yeah, there's lots to look forward to with that.
Amazing. Oh, thanks so much for interviewing me, Vicky. I really enjoyed it.
Very welcome.
And if you want to follow either of us, LinkedIn's probably your best bet.
Absolutely.
Laura Leyland, Leyland, and Vicky Taylor.
Vicky.
Vicky.
There's many different ways to spell it.
And if you want to sponsor us to run the London Marathon next week, please drop us a message on LinkedIn and we will send you the sponsor link.
Yeah.
Oh my
yes.
God, I can't believe it's next week.
I know, it's making me very nervous. I don't like talking about it. But I talk to everyone about it and then I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
I know what you mean. Well, talking to everyone going, sponsor us gives you money.
Yeah.
It's different to someone going, how are you feeling about the marathon? I'm like, no, I'm not talking about that.
No. Like, it's come around quick, but not at the same time. Yeah. I'm just like, how is it here now? So, yeah, I feel a bit sick now talking about it.
Okay, let's just change the subject. Sponsor us, though.
Yeah, sponsor us. Go and check out my LinkedIn video with the banana mic.
Oh, yes.
Yes. There might be another one coming up soon.
Oh, I like this. Leaving wanting more.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, please sponsor us, even if it's just £1.
Yeah.
We really
as
appreciate
Tesco said, every little helps.
Every little does help.
Other supermarkets are available.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leaving it there.
Yeah, please like and subscribe.
Yes, very important.
For all our upcoming episodes. Go back and listen to some of our other ones as well.
Yeah, go back, listen, tell other people about it. Help us spread the positive word.
Yeah, there's like 200 episodes for you to listen to, so.
Oh, so many.
Oh, and leave us a review, please.
Oh, yeah, that got so many things people
I know.
do. Okay, peace out.
Thanks, bye.